Never fire a firearm, and he never kill any Cuban soldier.
Wow.
And that's an interesting.
Tienes para abrir con Tenchi está tocando el claxon.
Yo no creo que la Tenchi era conmigo eso.
Abre por
No,
favor.
yo voy a abrir, pero
And your dad's family, where was your dad's family from?
well, by that family I mentioned something about them that my grandfather had been after he retired from the government, he went to that sugar mill,
Right.
Francisco American sugar mill, and
Like your grandparents and your great grandparents, where were they
I
from?
don't remember too much about it.
Like probably France or Spain, something like that?
No, well, I mean, we investigated this about the name. Mickey, my first cousin who died recently, and we were a very good friend, our family. And besides that, we were first cousins. We went once to a heraldic place that study name and things like that. Several of them. There was one over here in the Queen Mary, and there were two groups of people from La Bretaña that they called Breton because they were coming from Bretaña that had passed to Spain. It was a very large immigration when the situation in Brittany got bad that went to Spain and stayed there. In fact, we have a very good writer that you study in college, is Breton de los Herreros.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote a lot of good novels and things like that. And then after that, more recently, there was another big group of Breton from Brittany that went to Spain. But apparently, the group that we are coming from, it was the first large group.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
And
We don't know if they were called Breton.
yeah.
They were called these people from Brittany, those Bretons, something like that. You see?
Yeah.
And the name kept. That's why we think it's from the first group. But to tell you, like Mickey have told me, I mean my cousin, that our grandfather had two brothers and one went to Argentina, and that I don't know for sure.
Oh, okay.
He was preparing a genealogic, what's that marvel, the roots of the family, but I don't have access to
Who,
that.
Joey's dad?
That was our cousin Mickey.
Oh, is he still alive?
Excuse
No,
me?
he died.
He died.
No,
Okay.
he
And Abuelita, did you meet Abuelita when you were in high school or in college?
No, we met in the university.
When you were both in medical school?
That's right.
And how did you do you remember the first time you met her? Where were you when you met her?
I have to say, I remember the two sisters, of which one I really thought I was so pretty. That was Elisa, and the other one was Rosa. They were both pretty. They were both, and they were always together. They were very, very, very bright.
Who is Rosa, Abuelita's sister?
Abuelita's sister, that's right. And but I think probably the thing I remember most is when we both went to the maternity hospital, which was belongs to the county, and it was a free hospital for anyone that was having a baby. They could go there and be delivered and stay in the hospital the time necessary for free. Now I was able to get a position there where for work they give me a place where to stay and they fed me. And Ellie did the same thing. And I think that's the time that we really got together and we knew each other and we liked each other
1951.
Wow.
in 1951.
So you just started talking to each other and getting to know each other, and
That's correct, yes.
very cool. And tell me about how you first got involved with the Cuban Revolution that was going on at your university. How did you first get involved with that?
Well, Havana University was a very political group of students. I mean, we were very much interested in the relationship with the United States, which at that time was a horrible situation because they were more interested in the good relations with other countries than with Latin America. And what they wanted in Latin America was a stable government. They didn't care if this government was democratic or not. The only thing that they wanted was stability so they could do their business there and not be interfered with. And the CIA, which I don't think existed at that time, probably was the FBI or something like that, intervened in many of the countries, taking the president and killing them and putting another individual as a president. And then we had the tragedy that we were under a democratic government, elected in free elections, and then Batista, which had been in the armed forces for a number of years, got a group of soldiers and took some of the garrison and kicked the government out and made himself the president. That was Batista. And then after that, all the youth from the university, it went into action against Batista. Public manifestations, and here comes the fire department with the big hoses, throwing all the pressure water to you, and the university was closed for a number of days, and things like that. Then it's when we start realizing the influence that the government had in a group of students in the student body, and then there was a lot of people there that were anti-American, and when I say anti-American, I mean North American.
Mm-hmm.
I mean Southern criticism, but it meant a lot because I don't know, many of you know that the United States was created as a country and then gradually was improving conditions and things like that, but at the beginning they didn't have a national anthem. At the beginning they didn't have even a flag. And all those things, they don't have a language. Or, I mean, this is a country without an official language. Okay, things like that, and all that were policies of a group of students, which now I realize were of the extreme left and probably were communists and things like that, although we didn't really use that word because communism was illegal in Cuba for a number of years, and then the one that legalized the Communist Party in Cuba was Batista, the dictator.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah, right, yes. And then we didn't know anything about, we knew that there was a youth congress of communists, members of the Communist Party, of which one of the brothers, Raúl Castro, belongs to it, but Fidel Castro was not. And the other brothers, I mean Ramon and some of the other Castro, they were not members of the Communist Party, but Raúl was. And then that was the time when you start realizing how important it is to have a friendly government on your side and not an enemy government.
And Castro, he was the leader of the Cuban Revolution at the Havana University, right? Wasn't he like the same? Was he studying to become a doctor too?
No, it's
lawyer.
Castro
A
is
lawyer?
an attorney, but he's a doctor in ¿cómo se llama? Jurisprudence.
He's a
Oh,
lawyer.
He's
okay.
a doctor in jurisprudence. Then when you say Dr. Castro, I mean that's a proper way to call him. That's the way we call him Cuba.
Yeah.
Because he was a doctor in jurisprudence.
Did you ever?
No, Castro was the leader of the students, and he intervened in some other aspect of the politics that didn't have anything to do with the University of Havana. but more recently, then, yeah, he was getting involved in a lot of political, taking over a garrison and things like that.
Yeah.
But that was more recently. But what I remember of him is that he was a leader of the students. He was the chief of the student body, la FEU, Federation of University Students. He was the president of the Federation of University Students, or FEU. But he never was a communist. Raúl was. He went to some of the youth congress in Russia and some of the other Russian republic at that time, Hungary and things like that.
And did you ever meet him or talk to him?
No, never. We never. No, my relation with the Cuban Revolution was through a roommate of mine at the hospital, the county hospital, the maternity hospital. My roommate was
Sergio del Valle.
Sergio del Valle, which was a very nice, very
Very good friend of yours.
a very nice person. And in fact, when we came to this country, and say we because we took home, my wife also, he asked to see if we could get a position for him in the hospital where we were going to work,
Okay.
and we did.
Oh, cool.
And then we wrote him, "What's wrong with you? You don't come." And then he never answered. And then suddenly we had a call from New York, a lady that identified herself as. Oh, no, I don't. I will remember very soon. And then she mentioned that she was calling for
Sergio del Valle.
Sergio del Valle, who was in la Sierra Maestra.
With Castro.
It's Castro. And then we realized, oh my God, look at what he's doing. He had all the authorities and everybody confused, thinking that he was coming to the United States, and what he was doing was getting lists to go to La Sierra Maestra with Castro.
Wow.
In fact, he was a member of the Politburo, and they named him Chief of the Air Force because he was an educated man that had the title of medicine, but he was not a pilot.
Yeah.
They named him Chief of the Air Force.
Wow.
The Air Force was the thing that they were really afraid of when they were in the Sierra Maestra. Every time they heard a motor of a plane coming, everybody tried to hide, and they could be seen from up there, and they didn't have anything to bring the plane down, and they could come really, really low and see how many rebels were there and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what kinds of things did you do as a member of the Cuban Revolution? Did you go to rallies or things?
Oh
What
yeah,
did you do?
yeah, we did some rally, but in Cuba the university was closed for only a few days, and then reopened, and then we went back to study.
Did you go around the communities like, you know, telling everybody?
At that time, no. When we were a little more active was when we were in the United States. We were more active. We had some meetings. I remember we took, well, first of all, they call our attention. I mean, be very careful the way you comport yourself, because there's going to be a lot of undercover agents from the American government seeing how we progress. I mean, are we going to go into communism, or are we going to keep going in a democratic way? And that was the way we tried to do it, in a democratic way. But it was very, very. In fact, I think I was the president, no, Ali?
Sí.
The president of what?
For the students.
Of the group of Cubans that were helping Fidel when he was in La Sierra.
When in the United States?
En the United States. ¿Ahora cómo se llama aquel? ¿Acción Libertadora era?
Ajá.
Acción Libertadora.
Oh, and what When did you finally stop doing that? Like, how many years after you got to the United States did you stop helping him?
Well, I think as soon as he said himself that he was a communist.
Oh, okay.
You know, Castro at the beginning was a very important person. The world at that time was divided in two groups or three groups.
You know what it says? It says sorry. It says 0 minutes right here. Does that mean it's done?
No.
Ya está mucho, ya habla mucho.
Okay.
No. Let me show you really quickly. Hold on. It says right here. It says 0 minutes. Does that mean there's nothing left? Because right here it says 113
Yeah,
minutes.
this is the battery.
So what does the 0 minutes mean?
I think it's probably the